Hi guys, this is Meenal here, and today we're going to talk about how to connect your orchestrator with UiPath Assistant. With the latest changes in the orchestrator, it has become quite confusing, and I see a lot of people struggling to connect their orchestrator to UiPath Assistant. So that's going to be the agenda for today. Also, along with that, we are also going to see what are the common issues people are facing while connecting. We will talk a little bit about the personal workspace, which is a new concept that has been recently launched. Then we will also see what do you mean by sign in with service URL. And lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about machine template before we wrap up this short video. So let's get started. So in order to create this video, I've got a fresh login into the automation cloud. So this is the first time I'm actually logging in, and hopefully we should be able to connect our orchestrator to our UiPath Assistant. So when you log in for the first time, what you would notice is that you would have a tenant and my workspace and shared folders here. So the very first thing that you need to do is you need to go to your users and you need to activate your attended and unattended robot. Let's go to my user. This is the ID with which I have logged in. So I'll go edit the same. And here, if you see, it is already ticked. So we are kind of okay with it. Automatically create an attended robot for this user. So this is very important if you have to sign in with the service URL. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Then let's go to the unattended robot. And here I'm gonna give my domain name and password. So I'll keep a pause here while I do the same. So after filling in my domain name and login credentials, so just to tell you once again, how do you get your domain name is, you go to command prompt and type in who am I. So you will get your domain as well as your username there. And then when it comes to password, it is the password with which you log in into your Windows PC. Like, you know, the first time when you come and unlock your PC, the login, that is the same password that you have to put there. After that, no changes to be made here, and let's click on update. So this is saved successfully. Then you need to go to machine, and you would see that this machine template is already created here. This is going to be the same ID with which you have logged in. Then let's edit the same and let's assign one unattended license here. Now this is important here because if you want to connect it through your machine template, you need to have an unattended license, otherwise it just wouldn't work. So update. So now actually earlier this tab used to be very important, but currently this doesn't really play much importance here. Then let's go to the folder, and in the shared folder we have to do two things. One, we have to assign our machine. Another, we also have to assign our user. So let me go to machines and click here, manage machines, assign this particular template. Then let's go to the user, click on plus, and let's assign the user. So if I just type in my own name, it would come. This is the same user with which I've logged in. And when it comes to roles, we have to assign two roles here. One would be admin, another would be robot. Let's click on assign, and you would see that my user has come with admin as well as robot. Okay, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah. So now let's go to UiPath Assistant. Okay, you can directly log in by clicking on sign in, or you can also go to preferences. Let's go to preferences. So this is the screen. Go to orchestrator settings, and here you can click on sign in. So this is sign in with service URL. So it opens in the browser. Let's click on open UiPath. Okay, so as you can see, it is a kind of a green dot. That means it's connected. Also, you will be able to see here connected license. That's mean we are able to happily connect here. Also, I would like to note, you guys to note down few points here, that here on this tab, it shows only one attended robot license. Okay, so unattended doesn't show connected, but kind of this is, it doesn't mean that it's not connected. I'm going to show you how you can check whether your unattended bot is connected or not. So if you go to license usage, you would see that you have one unattended bot and it is connected, already connected, it's used up. Then go to shared folder, go to monitoring. You would see that you have two runtimes available here. One is unattended, another is attended. That means it is connected. But considering you have given your machine template here, so you can run your automations from this shared folder using unattended as well as attended bot. So I hope that helps you connect your orchestrator. Let's jump into the common mistakes or common issues people face while doing this configuration. The most common thing that I have seen is, like, if you actually delete it, manually, the machine, then it's kind of a problem. So how do we get it back is, you have to go to users. It's kind of a hack actually. Go to edit here. Then here, just toggle the button to this one, click on update, toggle it back again, and you will get your machine template back. I'm not doing it right now, but I hope you got it. This one. Then another common mistake that I've seen is that the UiPath Assistant is connected and unlicensed. So that happens when you have not assigned any machine here. So as I said, it's very important to assign one runtime unattended machine here in order to be connected as well as licensed. Connected unlicensed mean that it is connected but it is not able to find a license. So you have to assign one unattended runtime here. So I hope that's clear. Now coming to the next part, let me just refer. Personal workspace. Now what is this personal workspace here? Now this is something more like a developmental space that has been given by UiPath to everyone, so that if you want to practice anything, you can just publish your projects from Orchestrator to here and then can see it running. But please note down, an important point here is, at this point in time, only you can run attended bots through this workspace, because this is more like a developmental workspace. So let's try to publish a project and run it. So here is my UiPath Studio. I have this very simple project in which I have got a message box. Let me publish. So as you can see, it's currently connected to my workspace. So if you check it, you can connect it to the other folder also, but yeah, it is currently connected to my workspace folder. So I'm going to publish, and let me click on the publish. It's published successfully. So let's go to the orchestrator. Let me refresh. If you see, I don't even need to create a process here. It automatically comes here with the same package and so on. Now let's click on start job. Once you click on start the job, it's important to note here that you have only attended bot and you can't even select unattended from here. That means currently workspace allows only attended bots to work. So you don't even have a triggering button or trigger tab here, so you can't schedule it. Let's click on start, and it shall start executing very soon. Let's just wait. So if I go to jobs, it's running. So yeah, it was on my other screen. So here if you see, I have got hello world and that was my project. So I'll click OK and it would be successful. You would see that this is an attended bot run on my machine. Now let's go to shared folder and let's try to kind of upload something here. So I'm going to go back to the same process. Here I'm going to connect it to the shared folder now. By default, it's always connected to the workspace. So you would see that you can see shared here. Let's go to publish. So I've published my project and let's go back. Let's refresh. You would see no processes here, because when it comes to shared folder, you will have to create your process around your package. So let me click on this plus here and I'll get the package, which is this one, and I'll click on continue and I'll just not change anything. I'll click create. So in the shared folder, you have to create your process yourself. Now when it comes to execution, you would see that here you can select attended or unattended robot, anything. So basically in the shared folder, you can run on attended as well as unattended bot. You can even choose your machine and user by yourself. Otherwise, whatever is available, it automatically kind of defaults it. So let's kind of start. You would see in the job section, it is saying it's running. Let's just wait for it to come. Yeah, it's running. So if you see, I have my hello world here and currently it is run by unattended. You can also schedule your processes in the shared mode folder, which is a modern folder. So let's say execute and it is done. Let's go to the next point. I hope with that personal workspace is clear. It is mainly used for running attended bots currently as I create this video. Then let's come to sign in with service URL. Now if you see, I asked you to sign in with this service URL. Okay, let's go to preferences. In the UiPath Assistant, yeah. So now in the orchestrator settings, so let me just sign out. You have two options. One would be, so just a second. Yeah, it's signed out. So you have two options here. A service URL as well as machine key. Earlier, we always used to connect with machine key. Now the problem in machine key is when you connect it with a machine key, you can connect to only that particular machine through assistant. Whereas when you connect it through service URL, you may have multiple machines and it will automatically connect it to that particular URL. So that's a shift kind of. So rather than hard coding the machine key and things like that, probably the shift is more towards getting people to connect with service URL, which is comparatively much easier. You don't have to supply any details, and then you can connect multiple machine templates directly by just connecting through service URL. So that's the concept of service URL. Coming to the last one, what is machine template? Now, so if I go back here into the tenant and machine, you would see that this is not a standard machine. So that's probably earlier we used to first go here, add a standard machine, which would be your own machine, right? Whereas now this machine template comes by default, and with this machine template actually you can log in into multiple users or multiple machines as well if you just give this particular machine template and you give the URL. So again, as I said, the move is more towards using the template rather than the standard machine, because machine template helps us connect with Active Directory, with Azure services, and so on. So that's kind of a shift that has been made. You don't need to create any standard machine here, and neither you need to create any robot. It will be created by itself. Moreover, you don't even get a button to create it. So, with that, I hope this session or this video was useful to you, and it must have clarified some of your doubts with respect to Orchestrator. If you have any doubts, feel free to reach out to me over LinkedIn, or you can write it in the comments below. Thank you.